I've got a question. If Yang wins, I should say, when Yang wins the presidency, he becomes president, right? He wants to enact UBI. Day one is the first thing he wants to do. But let's say, hypothetically, let's just say he's not able to implement UBI. Let's say he can't do it in his first term. Let's say he can't do it in his second term. Let's say he gets elected and he's not able to implement UBI. Are we still happy? Do we still consider that a win? I asked that because I was chatting with somebody on my channel here, and they brought up this idea that I never really thought about. Or maybe I have, I don't know. They brought up this idea where it's like they want to hear what Andrew Yang has to say on other topics. He keeps bringing it back to UBI. He want to hear what Andrew Yang has to say on other topics. And I've heard that. I've heard that on Problem Solver Politics, you know? And I think to myself, yeah, I want to hear what he has to say. I want to hear his thinking. I want to know all that good stuff. But my question is, if Andrew Yang doesn't implement UBI, do we still consider that a victory, a win? Because that's what I'm supporting. That's what I care about. Yeah, he might have some interesting, a good temperament for foreign policy, but I mean, I think there are a lot of candidates who could do well with foreign policy. I want UBI. And I don't know that I would consider it a victory if we don't get UBI. Obama got elected to, one, he was supposed to go after the bankers and go after George W. Bush, right? George W. Bush lied United States into a war, and then the bankers just pillaged the economy, and he was supposed to bring healthcare, universal healthcare. Well, they didn't get that. Bankers still free, more wars now, and not universal not universal healthcare, because you have the insurance people in the room. You got the insurance companies in the room while you're figuring out these plans. Of course, the plan's not going to come out for universal healthcare. Now, I'm not saying that I'm for universal healthcare. I'm not against universal healthcare. I got mixed feelings on the subject. But the reason I bring it up is because Obama didn't accomplish the really big things that people wanted him to do. And a lot of people were disappointed in Barack Obama for that. And I think if we don't get UBI with Andrew Yang, we'll be disappointed there too. Look, I don't want him to be a single issue candidate, but he kind of is. And single issue, it's like easy to understand. The thing is, his single issue actually solves all the other problems. It's at the foundation of all the other problems we deal with. If you get free college, if you get universal healthcare, those are big problems that are solved, potentially. But then what about the rest of it? How does that help to not live paycheck to paycheck? Right? I don't know. I want him to be a single issue candidate because I think that single issue is all encompassing. It's not like ending the wars. It's not like, I mean, all those things are connected, of course. You end the wars, you have more money at home for infrastructure and all that good stuff. But UBI, it's at a foundation. It's unifying the country. It's bringing people back together. And the first thing you want to do, the first thing the president needs to do in this coming election is unite the country. It can't just be like, oh, our side won now, let's attack the other side, let's destroy everything they believe in. It's got to be uniting, and universal basic income, $1,000 a month for all Americans, every citizen, rich, poor, old, young, don't matter. Well, you got to be 18 or older. But if your parents get universal basic income, that helps you, right? It's for everybody. And that's a unifying principle. That's a unifying theme. That's a unifying policy. And that's what I want to see. So I don't want to make Andrew Yang a single issue candidate, but I think his best bet is to be a single issue candidate. And I don't know that I would consider it a win if he gets elected and still doesn't. Now, I'm glad. I'll be happy if he gets elected because I believe in the way he sees the world. I like that he's engaged in solving problems. I like that he likes to listen to all sides. I like that he's not coming in there saying, hey, I have an answer for everything. I know what to do about everything. He's going to be like, hey, we're going to get the best people in the room. This is what Donald Trump said. It's what Donald Trump said. And I was hopeful that he would get the best people in the room. But Donald Trump got the same old people in the room. And I think hopefully Andrew Yang can do something different. You know, can you imagine Andrew Yang gets in? Now Lawrence Lessig is in on the game, right? All the things that Lawrence Lessig talks about, corruption and privacy and all that stuff, now that gets put back in. Andrew Yang gets elected, and Tulsi Gabbard, her policies about war and stopping the wars, she gets in, right? I believe Andrew Yang, because president, he's going to listen to these great ideas, he's going to bring it forward. So I'll be very happy. Look, I won't consider it a win if you don't get universal basic income, but it'll still be a type of win. Like, it'll still be good to have Andrew Yang as president. What you need as president is somebody with good judgment, and I believe Andrew Yang has that. All right. That's just what I'm thinking about, Just a single issue candidate. Is it a win if we don't get UBI? I don't know. You tell me.